Fresh killer.
What up, tribe? What it do? Episode 5. Episode 5 now. Wow. Episode 5 is called Cancer Attack. And have to be straight with you. First off, spoilers abound, of course. And secondly, last week I said that last week's episode was my least favorite episode of the series, and this one I I appreciate it less. Now, let's just say that the standards are like really high because it's Atlanta, because it's my absolute favorite show on TV, no question. But still, it's just like, yeah, I um I wasn't quite riveted. I realized toward the beginning, like, oh, this is going to be one of those weird random episodes, like a few seasons ago when Paperboy wanted to get a haircut, but his barber won't give him a haircut, and he's going on this adventure with the barber for the whole episode, which was funny. That episode was funny, but this one was less funny. Stylistically, very beautiful, but it was long. It's like 42. It's 42 minutes, so it was not. I just wasn't feeling it. But hey, check this out, gang. Let me do a little detour for a second because I want to say something, man. Listen, next Friday, the 22nd of April, I'm hosting a viewing of Eddie Murphy Raw, $10 at the door, Oakland, California, and that's going to be at Body Mechanics Gym. Body Mechanics Gym, that's in the Laurel District. Look that up in Oakland, California. Come through, show love. Yeah, I hope to see you all there. Okay, tribe? If you're in the Bay Area, fool with it. We're going to have a discussion about Raw afterwards and what is the state of comedy. All right, coming back to Atlanta, this particular episode, let me break it down for you. I'm trying to be as concise as possible with this. Paperboy loses his phone and he's rocking the show. He's getting back into rare form. He loses his phone. And so, when Paperboy doesn't get paid or somebody's playing with him, he's like totally invested. So they do this thing, him and Earn, and they start, it's called Cancer Attack because before he went on, he sat down with a kid, like his Make-A-Wish Foundation, and he talked to the kid, and the kid had cancer. And then as the kid's being wheeled off, the kid has a cancer attack. Afterwards, they found out the phone is lost. Like, oh, that kid probably lost the phone. And as it turns out, that kid didn't take the phone, whatever. But Ernest checking all up under him to look for the phone. He didn't have it. They bring in another white guy, or another fan. This is another fan. They call him, they bring him in, and then they start playing good cop, bad cop with him. They go on this whole detective thing. It takes pretty much the whole freaking episode, whatever. One thing that I was thinking about is the show takes place in Budapest. And I don't know if anyone has seen the Grand Budapest Hotel, but I am a guy I'm a cinema buff, I'll say it. So I did see the Grand Budapest Hotel, and it came out maybe 8 years ago or something at this point. And I actually saw it in the theater, and it was one of those things that people were buzzing about, like, oh my God, it's so different, it's weird. And I was just like, yeah, that's stupid. Just stupid. Very artistic. I didn't understand it. I'm sure that it had lots of layers and subtext and symbolism and all that. But if I don't feel that first layer, it's not going to make me want to dig deeper. That's how I felt about this episode of Atlanta. It was just like, okay, I know you guys are. Shout out to the brother Donald Glover. They gave him free reigns to do all the things that he wants to do. That's great. Bruh, you got to bring me somewhere. And if you're not taking me anywhere, you got to let me suspend my criticism, create something, create a journey. So whereas I'm just going along with it, they weren't able to pull it off for this episode. Back to this white kid that they're interrogating. They thought that he took it. Ultimately, they didn't take it, but he's milking this because he's the Paperboy super fan and knows all the things about Paperboy. and things that Paperboy is just like, oh, that's in my phone. The only reason you know is because that's in my phone. Here's one thing that we did get out of this. We got another stellar monologue from Brian Tyree Henry, the actor that plays Paperboy, talking about why that phone means so much to him, because basically he was stagnant. He said he never really wanted to be a rapper, but whatever, the situation came upon him and he would go to the studio and record, but he couldn't record all these times. It just wasn't coming to him. And this one time he was in the moment on that stage and he felt it. And that was his voice. That was his voice. That was his authentic voice. We know the Paperboy is searching for authenticity. What's real in this world where everything around him is becoming fake and everything can be purchased, and he's a superstar and he appreciates the status, but he's losing himself. And so he felt like he found his real voice and he recorded on that phone. And now the phone is lost. It reminded me of the Andre 3000 interview with Rick Rubin. Well, Andre 3000 talks about going through a similar thing, like he tinkers a lot and goes to the studio, but he does not. The criticism is so high, how people hold him to this like extraordinarily unrealistic standard and critique every single syllable, every single vowel, every single thing that he says. And he just couldn't record anymore. And I'm not saying the character Paperboy is supposed to be on Andre 3000's level, but they are both from Atlanta and they both struggle with fame. So I saw a parallel there. So he delivered his monologue masterfully. I'm telling you, this person, Mr. Henry, he is just phenomenally talented. I can't wait to see what he does post Atlanta. I mean, I love Atlanta, but I think that, my goodness, he's just going to really, he's going to blow the roof off of Hollywood, man, if he's given the right roles, man. He's just dope. Okay, so that happens, blah, blah, blah. They go through all this stuff. It's somewhat humorous. The guy doesn't take the phone. As it turns out, towards the end, spoilers, I told you, the dude, this white dude that's rocking with them the whole time, he had the phone on him. He had stolen the phone while they're going through this whole ordeal. And after he threw the phone away, I'll tell you another thing that I appreciated, forgive me, about this episode was that final scene, boy. The final scene, they're on a bus, Paperboy's, smoking, doing his thing, chilling. They have the camera. He's facing the camera's looking past him towards, you see that the bus is moving. And it's this song that they're playing, man, this old Watt Stax song straight out of Memphis. And it's like one of them old school jams with one of them slow grooves with a whole bunch of bass. The sound of it sounded like that song, you got me going in circles, oh, round and round I go. But not that one. It was a song, this brother had a falsetto in it, man. I Shazammed it. I Shazammed the joint, and it's called Dedicated to the One I Love. Dedicated to the One I Love. And the way that it fit this scene of them moving away out of that parking lot on this big expensive tour bus. Where are they going? Which town are they headed to next? It doesn't matter, because Paperboy is officially lost. He had an opportunity to find himself, to find his voice, to recapture that. But that is gone with the phone that this white dude who they trusted threw away. So there it is. I tell you what, the storyline advances in the sense that Van, I'm laughing because Van is who Earn's ex-girlfriend, who he has a baby by. A few reviews ago, I mistakenly called her Lottie. Lottie is the name of the children that they have together, the child that they have together. But the woman's name is Vanessa. Her name is Van. He texted her multiple times. She's not responding, which is weird because she came from Atlanta all the way to Europe, I would assume, to be with Earn and to be with the crew, but now she's nowhere to be found and she's not responding to his text. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. but we see that something that he anticipated happening in the relationship is not happening. We'll see what happens with that. So that's what I have. Just to be clear, once again, this episode is the least favorite episode of Atlanta that I've experienced, and we'll see. But I still enjoyed it to a large degree because it is Atlanta, because it is very smart, and the cinematography is extremely breathtaking, and the music fits everything so well. And then we have these moments of pure brilliance from Paperboy, aka Mr. Brian Tyree Henry. Did I get it right? Brian Tyree Henry, and just yeah. So what can I say? Least favorite episode, but it is still Atlanta. I want them to bring it back. Please bring it back. Let's get back to the storyline next week. But that's what I have, y'all. Look, let me know what you all think. Drop something. Subscribe to the tribe, like this, and peace. I'm out. And another one.